was long-term. It was far-reaching, visionary in its scope, and revolutionary in its effects. He had cast-iron integrity and a raging passion. This was a man who had no fear in standing up for what he believed in, and he made no bones about how he felt. This was a man who publicly stated no amount of cajolery and no attempts at ethical or social seduction can eradicate from my heart a deep, burning hatred for the Tory party. In today's political climate, where politicians are careful, tentative, scared of saying what they feel for fear of alienating a part of the electorate, we're under the excuse of trying to appear electable. All parties drift into a morass of bland neutrality, and the real deals, the real values, we suspect, are kept behind closed doors. Is it any wonder that people feel there is very little to choose between? Bevan said, "We know what happens to people who stay in the middle of the road. They get run down." So when people are too scared to say what they really mean, when they're too careful to speak from their hearts, when integrity is too much of a risk, it's no surprise that people feel disengaged with politics. There is never an excuse to not speak up for what you think is right. You must stand up for what you believe. But first of all, by God, believe in something. Because there are plenty out there who believe in grabbing as much as they can for themselves, constantly sniffing around for markets to exploit, for weakness to expose. They won't say it, of course. They're too smart for that. No one says they want to get rid of the NHS. Everyone praises it across all parties. It is about as powerful a symbol of goodness that we have. So it would be too dangerous not to. But for decades now, there has nevertheless been a systematic undermining of its core values. This is beyond party politics. The Labour government arguably did as much damage to the NHS as any Tory or coalition-led one. This is about who we want to be as a nation and what we believe is worth fighting for. Too many people have given too much and fought too hard for us to give away what they achieved and to be left with so very little. To those across the whole party political spectrum, and to anyone in any position of power or authority, I ask you to search your heart and look at who and what you serve. To those who have discarded all principles save that of profit before all else. To those who have turned their backs on the very idea of a truly democratic society and aligned themselves to nothing but self-interest. To those who have betrayed the vision of equality and justice and compassion for all, that vision that provided the crucible from which came forth the National Health Service. I say to you, as Aneurin Bevan said in Trafalgar Square in 1956, you have besmirched the name of Britain. You have made us ashamed of the things of which formerly we were proud. You have offended against every principle of decency, and there is only one way in which you can even begin to restore your tarnished reputation. Get out! Get